Hey, what's happening, guys? Dan Darrow here with another Options and Play video update. Just a quick one today. You can hear my voice is a little raspy, but one of the things that we are always talking about on the VTF is risk reward, right? And when it comes to option trades and earnings, I mean, it's very important to know what you're risking. The reward, sometimes can be undefined, right? Because if you're doing straight calls or straight puts, I mean, your risk is price paid. Your reward could be, whatever the stock moves, right? I mean, if it spreads, it's a different story. Now, we, myself, we trade the weeklies a lot, right? And when as we get later in the week, and you get to like those lotto type contracts where they're priced very low and can be further out of the money. The thing to remember is what your risk is, right? And especially into earnings, what is the risk, right? Like how much are you willing to risk? And especially if you're looking at further out of the money contracts that expire in a day or two and around like a big event like earnings, there's a high likelihood that those contracts could be a zero, right? So when you are putting these contracts on, you need to make sure that you're comfortable with the risk, right? So like a name like Facebook, if you were looking at it into earnings and you were saying, okay, these are lotto calls that you're buying, then if it doesn't work in your favor, then you shouldn't be at the point where you're upset and say like, oh, I got crushed on Facebook calls, right? Because if it was lotto idea, that in and of itself means that it's a lower probability scenario, right? These are cheap contracts. There's not much time, and when you say lotto, that means that there's a lower probability that's going to work, right? It could be a big payday if it works, but there's also a lower probability that it works. So when you are managing your risk around earnings, especially with these short-term contracts, just make sure that the number or the dollar amount you're putting into these is a number that you're comfortable risking, okay? Because if they go to zero, is that going to be amount that you are comfortable losing, right? And like these are things that you really need to pay attention to when you're trading short-term contracts around big events, because option prices can really get hit hard if the stocks don't move or if it moves in the opposite direction. All right. So things to stew on as we get into earnings season here. I mean, and I know a lot of people like these short-term contracts, myself included. But these are like the risks that come with it. So these are the things that you need to be aware of if you're going to be focusing on these. All right. So, earnings season, high gear here. Lots going on. I mean, next week we're busy too, so lots to look forward to. Hoping for some good action. All right. So, if you like this video and you're looking for more information about trading earnings with options, please follow up with the link in the description of the video for more information on options to play. Have a great night. I will talk to you all.